Happy Easter, guys. Happy Easter. Good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome to my last stream of the week. And what a good way to end this week, because yes, the weather is definitely shining outside, and it is a bank holiday, even though that nobody should be at work. Well, actually, people should be at work, but yeah, it's bank holiday. That means you don't have to work for those people who work 9 to 5. However, I'm here and I'm going to talk a little bit about photography today. I have a lot of great stuff to show you guys. Apology for yesterday, because for some reasons, my brain just wasn't working for some strange reason, and it was all over the place. I had no topic, I had no directions, and I don't know what happened to me. So yesterday's stream was completely gone, disappeared, disaster, you know. And but anyway, hopefully you guys will enjoy today's stream, because I have a lot to show you guys, and it's actually going to be quite fun, because I'm going to show you guys what I did last year for one of my photo shoots. And in fact, some of the photos will be published this year, and a couple of them may actually even appearing in this weekend's The Times magazine. So stay tuned for that. That will be awesome, right? Okay, so let me just give you the topic of the day, because for those who don't know what my live stream works and how it works, I mean, what it does is, okay, my name is Jimmy Cheng. If you don't know who I am an Olympus ambassador, so I'm a photographer and filmmaker professionally. So I make all my income through those services that I provide. And so during this lockdown, obviously, there's nothing I can do at the moment, and I'm kind of empty-handed, nothing. Apart from, yeah, I've still got a couple of projects going on, but it's not as urgent, or some of them not even paid, because it's actually my own project. I'm self-funded projects. So that is going to be interesting to see how it goes later on this year. So any support is appreciated. My link is down here to buy me coffee if you want to support me in any sort of form, and buy me virtual coffee would definitely help. So today, this stream is usually having 3 sections. So first of all, it's a general update. I will tell you guys, you know, what's going on in London in general, or myself, you know, my family kind of thing. And because this stream is obviously public, so like my friends and family can actually watch it as well, so they would see. So I'm just trying to keep them informed, you know, wherever they are, in Hong Kong, US, Canada, whatever. So it's always good to just give a little bit of update, so you guys know what I'm doing and how everybody is doing as well. Then also the second point is basically today's topic, how to better your portrait. This is like the subject of the day, and every day changes. Sometimes it could be just random, sometimes it will be very, very specific, and then lastly it will be Q&A, so you can ask me any question. But how it works for a live stream is, you know, like I do engage with you guys almost like instantly. As soon as I see the comment pops up on my screen, and I will answer questions. So whenever I see something, I would possibly go into it and just answer it. So there might be a little interruptions going on, but that's kind of how live stream works, really. Otherwise, you know, I will have too many questions to answer at the end of the stream, and yeah, it wouldn't work. I'll probably last about 2 hours long, so I don't want to do that, and I don't want to waste your time. I just want to keep it nice and short and concise, and then you guys will enjoy whatever I'm going to talk about today. Okay, general update. Everybody's happy, everybody's having fun at the moment. My kids are, you can probably hear them a little bit, because they are decorating the Easter egg. So we're going to have a little Easter egg hunt later on. So that should be quite a fun thing to do with the kids, especially, you know, you have 2 young ones there, very energetic. But you can see I'm still sweating, because we did exercise this morning, and we're trying to keep the energy level as high as possible. And yeah, as long as you can't go outside and run at the moment, so this is something we're trying to do at home. Okay, good morning, Trevor. Happy Easter. And oh, you're watching my video from yesterday. Okay, I'm still trying to film one, but at the moment I'm struggling to try to find time to film that. So you have to stay tuned for that. Okay, so how to better your portrait? Like, the general update is gone now, so basically everybody's happy. Nothing special or nothing kind of disastrous has gone on in London. You know, it's the same old for this entire week. But today's topic is going to be interesting. So if you are into portrait photography, if you are into weddings, anything to do with people, I think today's stream will be very, very valuable to you guys. And because I'm showing you one portfolio of mine, and this is a shoot that I did last year. It was a commission project, and I just went up and did a portrait session with a lady who's a phenomenal lady. You know, she's Canadian, and she's basically now lives in London and starting a lot of charity work and things like that. So it's just amazing. So I was happy to actually meet this person and be able to take some portrait of her. You know, so this is actually pretty cool. But more importantly, though, these series of photos are really good, and then and as a matter of fact, that. You know, a few of them will be published this year in some magazines and stuff like that. So yeah, stay tuned for that. As soon as I get something, I'm sure that I'll post up on my social media account so you will see them and as well. But I'm going to go through them today, the entire portfolio. So like you're gonna have to sit tight and just have to look through everything that I got, so I can kind of go through my mindset and how I capture the photo and what sort of thing you should be look out for when you're doing something similar, or if you want to improve your portrait photography, what you should be doing as well. Okay, good morning, Jason. Hello. Nice to see you. Nice to see some familiar faces. So let's get crack on, and let me just get rid of this topic of the day and start showing you some of my images, shall we? Right, I'm going to put a timer on, although I don't usually stick with the timer, but then, you know, we just overrun most of the time. Okay, let's get straight on. So, the first photo I want to show you is this. Okay, I do have a couple of more photos, but because of privacy issues, and I do not want to share, you know, some of the sequences that I took before this particular shot, because, you know, those photos will show exactly where she lives, and for my purposes, every time I do a documentary or environmental portrait, if as a series, I would usually document everything, you know, right from the beginning, where they live and things like that, the environment that he or she lives in, and also the ending shot. So I'm cutting them out, so you don't know exactly where they live and things like that. It's really purely for personal and privacy issues reasons. Okay, so this first photo here is more like an icebreaker shot. I don't know if you remember, I actually mentioned something very, very similar in earlier streams, and I told you that, you know, whenever I do approach a client, you know, I will spend almost the first half an hour, maybe even an hour, just trying to break the ice, trying to learn a little bit about that person, their personality. So the only way to do it is by speaking to them. You know, it's always ever so difficult when you go up to a client. First of all, if they're not professional models, they will have like no experience of having people photographing up close, and or even get into your personal space. It's quite offensive to do that, and they will always be kind of like feeling very tight in their shoulder. You can see from their posture, you know, it's going to be like, oh, like that. It's always not good, and it will show in the photo, so you don't want to do that. So what happened is, I would basically sit down. I actually, you know, she offered me a coffee, and then so I said yes. I had a coffee, so we had a chat, then have a coffee, but I had one trick I always do is I have my camera right next to me. As soon as I got into the house, I take my camera out, because she knows that I'm a photographer. She knows that I'm coming to photograph her. You know, that was the appointment. So I'll take the camera out from my bag, put it on the table. She sees it. So this is a psychological thing. She sees the camera. So I just want her to get used to seeing that physical camera on the table, so she knows that I'm going to do something with that camera. But before I even do that, what I do, I sit down with her, I talk to her, and then having coffee, just as a general chat, you know, like, how are you, you know, where are you from, you know, what's your background is, blah, blah, blah. I will talk about myself, and we just have a little chat. And as soon as I can sense the ice is breaking a little bit or starting to melt a little bit, then I will pick up my camera, do a couple of shots so she hears the click. I don't usually enable silent shutter. I know like a lot of photographers think that, you know, silent shutter is good for discrete purposes. You know, yes and no, depending on where you are, what sort of thing you're doing. If you're at a wedding, trying to blend in, you may not want to have the shutter sound on. But in this sort of instances, because I'm actually at someone's house, which is extremely quiet environment, that's very, very different. I want her to hear the clicking sound. I want her to hear the shutter. So as soon as I click something, she hears, and then she knows I'm doing something. I want her to look at the camera every now and then, and it's just like a slowly ice-breaking exercise for her, and to ease her into the shoot. Because what you don't want to do is, you know, a lot of beginner errors that they always do is, you know, when they go up to a client, they just basically go up to, oh, stand there, I'm just gonna, yeah, that's nice. It's too quick, it's too sudden, you know. They may, if they have been photographed multiple times, that may not be a problem, but most of the cases, they will feel very rigid, and you might as well chuck those shots, you know, the first 20 shots, you might as well chuck away, you know, that's completely meaningless. So for me, I'm just trying to just do some kind of breaking shots like that. So I'm just gonna show you a few of these. So these are all on the coffee table. And then you can see that she was a little bit shy, and then she wasn't looking at the camera at all. So this is something that I just keep doing it. Every 2 minutes, I'll snap a shot and just let her know that I'm taking photos. And good morning, hey David, and happy Easter. It is very quiet, but you know, in a very quiet room, Trevor, and is still very very loud. You know, I don't know, you know, it makes sense, you know, because you can definitely hear it in a room like a very quiet room, and so that would definitely be audible. So let me just try and bring up another shot. So once again, like you can see that I'm starting to move around now in this shot. So this is a reflection shot that I basically stood up. I'm starting to animate. I'm starting to animate myself a little bit, my body. So like I move around a little bit, so she knows that I'm starting to move. As soon as she warms up a little bit, I'm starting to look around now, and then so she sense that I'm starting to work, and everything has to be quite slow. You have to take your time when if you want to do great portraits, and that's what I tend to do. And there we go. That's the next shot. So similar shot. I using the reflection again from the back of the mirror. So the mirror on the wall at the back, and so took a reflection shot of her working. In fact, she was working when I arrived, so she was working on the computer, reply some emails, and that's why the computer, it wasn't a setup, she was actually working. So, but I thought this is quite a good lifestyle shot, especially she was sitting in a more natural environment when she worked. So I just said, okay, she was saying that should I just take the computer away or things like that, just clear the table. That's another thing I do. I would say, no, don't move anything. This is you. I want it to be you. So like leave everything on the table, your computer, your document, your pen and everything. I just want them there. And you don't have to tidy them up either. I just want to see the natural self. So stay them there, you know, just do whatever you need to do. I can continue to talk to you. You can continue replying your emails, and just do whatever you need to do. Okay, so let's give you another few shots here. Right. So now I'm starting to get a little bit closer. You can see the distance there, you know, from the first few shots. I was probably about 5 feet away from her. I was sitting at the end of the table, and then I'm moving, like inching myself closer to closer. And this shot I was doing because I was using this one. I think this one was a 25 1.2 Pro, and so I was moving a little bit closer, and probably this about 3 feet now. And so she knows that I'm getting a bit closer. So once again, I'm trying to break the ice a little bit further. I'm trying to push the boundary a little bit more, see how close I can get to her. And I'm just inching myself forward every single time, and when I do a shot. So this is kind of my approach to a lot of stuff. But once again, it depending on the person. Some people are naturally very easy to break, and then I just move like every 5 minutes in, I'll be going straight into the shot. But she's quite, I think she's quite a conservative person. You know, she's a great lady. She's actually very used to public speaking and everything. But when it comes to this sort of one-to-one stuff, you know, I can see she's holding back a little bit. Her door was definitely shut very tight, and I have to open that door, and just, you know, as a photographer, you have to learn how to open. You're going to be basically a locksmith, you know, a locksmith for personality. You need to open up the personality so you reveal who she really, or he or she really is. Okay, let me just get another shot. So now you can see how close I am now. So I'm literally right next to her, and just next to her computer, you know, full stop. And it's really, really close. Literally 1 feet away from her, on her side now. And this is my exercise, continue to push the boundaries. And I know that I could get really close to her, because I would never do shots like that close anyway, you know, unless I'm doing some detail shots. And because, you know, if you go up to a person with like kind of 1 or 2 feet distance in front of the face, photo won't look great anyways, and unless you're doing some extreme kind of abstract shots and things like that. But usually I wouldn't do that. But I'm just trying to push the boundary. And the reason doing that though is once you push the boundary to the limit, to the closest distance you work with her, and I would be able to ease her by stepping back. You know, she will feel a lot more comfortable even if I move just a couple of inches away from her. So this is something that I really think is a good exercise to do, and that way the subject would definitely appreciate your effort by doing so, because she knows exactly what I was doing. And once again, I was getting really close. I'm trying different angles. So this is once again only about 2-3 feet away, and so I was really up her nose almost. And by doing this sort of thing, and so I'm just giving you some more. So now I'm stepping away. See, like I told you about, once I get close, I step away again, just to give her some space. As soon as I stepped away, I can see that, you know, she relaxed a lot. Like naturally, just basically feel very relieved that I was kind of stepping away. But that's good, because now she's relaxed. So without me asking her or telling her, oh, relax your shoulder, you know, like if you're looking a little bit tight, you know, oh, just relax, you know, just shake around your shoulder, your neck a little bit, and take a couple of minutes, you know, just enjoy the environment. I never really like to do that sort of thing, so I just like to push the boundary straight in, because that way the door is open. So now I'm stepping away. She's already relaxed because she's so used to me getting so close, and so now I'm going back, and she's instantly. The door is wide open, and then that is my technique for getting or open someone's doors or personality. Okay, let's go in another shot. So now I'm just easing myself in, and then starting to do a few more shots, and then you can see that in a minute. So let's see. Now there you go. That's so that's the results of ice breaking. You know, you can see how serious she was from the first few photos. She wasn't smiling. She's a friendly person, but she wasn't smiling. I think she was a little bit uptight, you know, just didn't know what to expect, what to do about herself. Because one thing is that, you know, as well, you know, I never really like to pose people too much, and I just want them to express themselves naturally. So this is one thing that I was doing. So I basically do whatever I just told you, you know, like going up close, trying to push the boundaries, see how close I can get to her, open the personality door by unlocking that giant lock there in front of her. And so as soon as the door is open, you can see how natural she is to smile when she smiles, and it's totally different, and it's very effective. But everyone got their own method, but that's kind of my effort, my methods I want to show you guys. So again, there was a few other photos in between, but against one, I just don't want to show that because it shows the door number, so I just don't want to do that at all. And so that's her dog, and then we were gonna head outside to do some more outdoor stuff because we've done the indoor. So we're gonna head outside to do something, and she loves to walk with her dog, so we just got him out, and there we go. I'm gonna show you sequences of what we do afterward. So another exercise is because she likes the dog, and then I trying to involve her pet, and also by, you know, allowing some moments of them playing together and interacting each other, and especially I could also take some natural photo of them playing. And in fact, these photos may not be valuable or being or would be publishable, you know, for magazines and other things, but it would be valuable for the clients because she might like these photos. May not be the one that is going to be on the magazine, but these are kind of like personal photos she may want to keep and even put in an album. So I usually do this sort of thing just on the, you know, just an added bonus. So let's see, I'm going to go for another photo. So there were quite a few dog shots here actually. So there we go. That's another one here, and it's coming out of the door, and so it's very natural, more like candid stuff. So I got outside, just waited for her, and I did, for this instance, I did ask her to wait inside until I basically stand in the right position, ask her to, now come out, and then she come out. And but I wasn't really asking her to, stop right there. It's a continuous motion there. So I was setting continuous shot on the Olympus, just basically just let the whole thing flows. Okay, so next shot is same thing, just continue coming out of the door, and the dog just wouldn't move. It was quite a cold day, so perhaps that's why, like, you know, it didn't really want to go anywhere, so it's quite funny. And let's go and continue. And now it's more like a pose shot, this one, because suddenly I saw that stream of lights coming through. You can probably see the shadow there in just right next to her, and I thought that light was really amazing. So that's what I just kind of bam, I saw that, okay, just stay right there, look towards the sun, and I just need that shot. That looks amazing. So but because she's quite used to me already, and I was able to start to command a little bit, and I said, okay, just stand right there, just stay there and just look towards a direction, and I will just take that shot. Good morning, David, how are you? And Zoom meeting in relative Israel, and the world is smaller and smaller. Absolutely, digital is definitely helping. Sorry, I'm just speaking to David, and he's joining us from Israel, joining us in London, is it? Are you in London, David? And so that's pretty cool. So thank you for joining me once again. So it's all good, all good. So yeah, I'm just talking about basically I'm sharing my portfolio. I'm sharing actually one particular photo shoot that I did last year with a client, and these photos were to me it's actually quite amazing. I have a lot more of this to share over time. So like you can stay tuned for all my photos if you want to see a lot more and learn a bit more how I approached these particular photos, how I did it. So this is quite interesting for those who are really interested in photography and portrait photography. So there you go. So this is pretty cool. I like the shot here, and the light is just amazing. Hi Barana, good morning. Good morning. How's Thailand? Right. Okay. Let's get you the next shot. So once again, it's a continuous shot, and then but once again, it's a candid moment. I just want her to come out of the door and just walk on the street. Full stop. So this is I think it's one of the last shots that we did at the house, and then we're gonna move on to the riverbank, and then that's more this stuff that we are gonna do more for this particular shoot. So catching me today. Thank you, Brianna. Okay, so this is once again another ice breaking shot. Right, you might ask me, why do you need another ice breaking? Because I already done it inside her house. Well, to a lot of people, you know, if they're not, even if they are very comfortable in public, you know, in terms of like performances or public speaking, it's very, very different when it comes to being photographed in public, because you will have to be facing the camera, not get distracted by the people surrounding, and because there could be people watching you while you're being photographed, and they might feel a little bit shy and things like that. So once he or she stepped out of her house, or his or her house, they will feel a little bit more anxious, a little bit more kind of nervous, suddenly, because the environment changed. It's not in their control anymore, and it's outside. So I need another ice breaking, and then that's what I just asked her to, okay, just stand right there, you know, just let me do a couple of shots. She's happy for me to take photo, but you can tell she's a little bit rigid, and that wasn't really flowing that much. So I have to do another exercise by easing her into my shoot again. So that's why I did this sort of very normal generic shots of her, and but you can see that her smile, even though she's a little bit rigid, her smile's already kind of like loosened up a little bit. She's quite natural in terms of smile, so that's quite nice, and I really enjoy that. And the lighting was just absolutely beautiful there. I just love it. Okay, then the next one. So I'll continue doing ice breaking, and because I think it's essential to make sure that the entire series of photo will have some really, really good ones. So this is why I continue pushing for it, making sure that I will have some shots that are nice. And okay, now you can see that she's already relaxed quite a lot more compared to the very first one by the riverbank. And she took off her hat, and then her smile is definitely way more natural compared to the previous ones. So that is always good to see. And now I'm asking her to walk around now. These are more candid stuff. This is something that I very, very often do when it comes to my style of photography. Is I don't like to have people standing stationary. I always ask them to move around quite a lot. And this is one of the reasons why I love the OMD EM1 series, especially Mark II and Mark III, because the continuous focus is actually amazing. So what I did was just set it to CAF, and especially on the Mark III, he has face tracking that is so good. Although when this shot was done, EM1 Mark III wasn't out yet, so I was using the Mark II. Oh no, this is the shot with the 1X, so I'm using the EM1X. That camera has phenomenal tracking, so I just use that to track her while she's moving. I was walking backward. That's another dangerous thing for you to do as a photographer, is to walking backward. Because let me tell you, I fall down so many times for walking backward. I didn't see what's behind me, and I fell down so many times, and I hurt my bum quite a few times. And lucky nothing was damaged, and that's the main thing. And good morning, Shane. How are you? And good to see you there, Shane. So what's Shane? I'm just telling you guys, I'm just sharing my portfolio, one of the photo shoots that I did last year, and to share my approach when it comes to environmental portrait, and also how I did these shots and my methodologies behind it, and just give you some tips. Hopefully, you know, you can learn a thing or two, maybe inspiring you when you come to the next portrait session. So hopefully that was all good for everybody. So this shot, I was asking you to starting to walk around with the dog. So once again, it's more like a ice breaking again. So the angle wasn't exactly right. The dog was behind her. You know, I just want to keep snapping. You know, and in this moment, is all about the ice breaking stage still, and so I'm trying to get her into more comfortable positions. So let me show you the next one. So you can see, like, you know, the sequences that I did for since about 5 minutes ago. The first shot that she was by the riverbank, and then from that point onward to this particular shot, that's about 10 or 12 shots already. She's already very comfortable of me photographing, also with people surrounding them, and then so this is something that I want to ensure that she's comfortable. And once that she is comfortable, I will be able to do a lot more. Once again, it's about that locksmith thing that I told you guys about. You know, I just have to unlock her personality. I really need to unlock that door. So you are the locksmith, basically. You know, just have to open that door. So you can see that now the door is open. I wouldn't say wide open yet. You know, it's definitely got a gap there, and I will continue to work with that shot and work with her and see whether I can get any sort of opportunities there. So once again, this is not exactly a great shot yet, but you can start to see she's starting to play with her dog a little bit, and then she's definitely easing herself into the entire session. The lighting is fantastic. I love that lighting that day, was really gorgeous. And there we go, you're starting to see that more and more natural stuff going on there now, and I love it. As soon as something like this happens, I know the door's open, and then I will be able to push it a little bit more. Now I asked her to stop just by this point, and so just put it on the side so you can see it. So once again, I just asked her to just turn around and look at me, because the light is great. And then so this time I didn't use backlit. I was shooting right directly into it. Another tip about shooting portraits in the sun is that you don't want to have you know, these lights straight into the eye, because like she will be squinting quite a lot. So like, lucky that the sun that day was kind of at an angle, almost like at her 3 o'clock. So it's not, or about 2 o'clock actually. So you can see the light is coming through to her face, and just be mindful about that. You know, you really don't want the people just like looking straight into the sun. One of the quick way to do it is to shoot backlit. You know, like when she's facing away from the sun, and then but then again, you know, you basically, she will be in the shadow. Like some of the shots that you saw earlier, it still works. You know, it's quite romantic actually. I quite like that sort of style. But sometimes you may want something like this, and even though it's quite harsh, the light, but it kind of works. You know, because it makes her pops a little bit more. It's definitely a high contrast shot because of the lower angle, the harsh sunlight, but it works actually quite well for this particular one. Okay, the next shot, so similar thing. So this time, I did ask her to turn around, look at the sun. Oh, not directly into the sun, kind of just right next to it. And yeah, I did check by turning around myself. I actually pick a subject so she can focus on that subject, so she's not really looking into the sun and hurt her eyes. And but it still worked really, really well, even though it's quite harsh light. You can see that from the actual railing itself and the poles and things like that. You can see all those harsh shadow on the side there. You can see it. In general, you may actually think that this is not a great light for a portrait, you know, just not soft enough. And, you know, a lot of myth when it comes to photography or portrait photography is that, oh, you need overcloud or overshade areas, and also may use a diffuser in front of the subject to soften out the lights. Yes and no, depending on what sort of shoot you're going for. But sometimes I quite like these harsh lights, just because it just gives that your photos just a little bit more edgy, you know, just give a little bit more characters to it, and I kind of like it. Okay, and so next shot. So, and once again, involving her dogs again, and she's actually a very well-behaved dog, and then she would sit next to me when I'm photographing her, and then when I ask the dog to go back in, he would just go right next to her. You know, she's well-behaved, and I'm actually quite intrigued by her, and really, really fun. And just put it up there, so it's actually quite fun. So another ice-breaking, because what I'm about to do is do more shot with the dog, and then you can see in a minute. So I'm just trying to show it you guys. So what did David say? I fell over walking backward on a high line part. Oh, I know high line. I know high line. It's actually very interesting there. I love it. I love it there. People rush. Are you okay? I'm okay. Just wanted to. Oh, I like that. I like that, David. Yeah, I know. I've been to high line. It's fun, isn't it? I miss it. You know, I do miss it. Right, actually, where I am now, and let's see. I can't remember which shot is this. Not this one. Okay, now I got the dog away. just for one more photo, a couple more. Right, I'm going to show you next. Right, remember I told you about the dog walking shot earlier? Sorry, I got a bit blocked nose today. And so now I am starting to get into my position to do some more with her dog, basically. And so now she's comfortable walking in public, and definitely better. And the dog is definitely better. Well, I'm actually in a better angle to do these sort of shots, and this is my usual angle. It's a bit lower, and shooting like quite far away. This series I use my 40 to 150 2.8 Pro. So I'm actually standing probably a good, I would say 50 meters or 30 meters away from her, and I'm using a longer lens. I just basically ask her to just walk with your dog, just walk towards me. Just walk towards my direction. Just forget about everything. You can do whatever you want. Once again, I don't want to post you. I just want you to be natural. And so just do your thing. Just enjoy that moment. You know, the light is good, and have a good walk with your dog. And then she did, and she just every now and then she did check on me. That's why she's looking in the camera, and that's when I snap it, because I need her to look into my camera. And so that's one of the few things that I do. So this one actually looking away, and it's one of these more like candid moment shot, and with the dog, and just it's a great angle. Right, okay. So now we're coming to the final series of this particular session, and we found the location which is actually right by the bridge itself, and it's fantastic location. The light was absolutely gorgeous by now, and you can see that it's almost like a sunset color, and then you got the kind of hue going on in the sky, and you've got this architecture, great leading lines there, and great compositions. You got the railing there, you got the grass, the colors kind of pop out, give you that warmth there, and it just the whole thing just works. Remember, I told you about, talked to you guys about depth of field. This is a great example that I don't need depth of field, and I'd like to see all the textures, all the elements in the shots, and it's fantastic. I love this sort of thing going on, and I just want to bring it up to you just slightly bigger. You can see it's just fantastic, the shot on its own, and I was shooting with the 40 to 150, and I did bring it into probably about 100, I think. So I was quite far away from for this particular shot, but it works. I want to compress the scene a little bit, have a better compression, so I did this one, and then I changed lens. So I'll show you one more. That's another shot of that same thing, just different angle. So this now, I am using the 45 1.8, and so once again it's a good compression shot as well, and this one I shot at 1.8, and I am using depth of field only because you see the tree branches behind. I just wanted to ease that confusion a little bit more by using slightly depth of field to blur that those little branches out, because it's still in winter time, there's no leaves going on. Yeah, it just kind of slightly better. I don't want to completely blur them out though, because I want to see the environment. You can still see the lamppost, you can still see the bridge behind. I want to see something, and this is why I don't urge people to, if you're using full frame, I don't want you to use 1.4, 1.2 all the time, just to blur everything out completely, and you don't even know where he or she is. As an environmental portrait photographer, you really want to show where your subject is, right? And you need to highlight the entire process in her environment. So that's another one, and this is more direct shot. It's kind of candid, and just every now and then just keep snapping, just whenever she turns around, I snap a shot, because you don't want to stop. As a photographer, you really want to continue that process, and you don't want to leave any cool down moment until the photo session is finished. You really keep going. Otherwise, if you leave any gaps in between, you kind of have to redo that braking stage again. You have to reopen the door. While the door is still open, you want to keep going. And so this is why I keep doing it. Every time when she turns around, I want to keep doing it. The only time I really stop is when I need to change lens or change camera, and that's when I need to do something, and I just say, okay, let's take a 2 minutes break, I'll do something. But other than that, I will just keep doing shot basically every 30 seconds, I'll do one shot just in case. And then, so again, this is kind of towards the end of the session, and then as you spy the bridge, I thought it's beautiful there, and just continue doing some shots. And you can see the sun's already nearly gone now, and it's a fantastic location. The tide is low. it's just a very fantastic location to shoot. So I don't want to waste anything, just continue doing it, see everything. So this is probably the end of it now, and that's why I should keep looking. By now you should be able to see how comfortable she is, and you can see that she is definitely smiling a lot more than before, and she's really happy to see me. She's happy for me to photograph her. She's happy for me to point the camera at her, and she's already gained her complete trust. And that is very, very important as a portrait photographer. You know, you need that trust going. And so now I can fully exploit her personality. You know, I can just completely ask her to do whatever I want now by this stage. So just happy for me to do it. So I just do a couple of shots that I really enjoy doing. So I just ask her to stand there, because I love the bridge behind, and that architecture is amazing, and just also look away for it. That's the light is getting a bit softer, and I can tell from the shadow. And so I said, this is a cool moment. It may not be a shot that's going to be published, but I love this kind of shot. So I just asked her, can you do something for me? Just want to do some of the shots that I like to do. And so I just did a couple of shots like these, and then to end the session. There you go. That's my last photo of the entire series. So hopefully you guys enjoyed these. So if you've got any question, ask me now, and I have a few minutes so I can answer any question you may have. So this is kind of things I do on a daily basis for the last few years. Ever since I kind of moved on from weddings and into more portrait work, I have done absolutely tons of these photo shoots every year, apart from this year. And for the last 2 years alone, I did about 350 photo shoots just like these. So I've met loads of different people from all over the world. They could be high value individuals, they could be CEO from some company, some celebrities that I'm not allowed to tell you, and I'm not allowed to show any photos either. But there are things that I've done that is pretty amazing, and I do really enjoy you know, doing sessions like these. I'm able to meet them, and they still ask me and ring me every now and then, and so many of them actually became my friends, and they keep calling me up. Like for instance, I met a political reporter last year. Actually no, 2 years ago. I did a session just like this for him, and then but after that his wife called me to do his birthday party, and then after that I did their newborn baby photos, and it links into everything, because I gained their trust. That's the thing. That's the important thing. Once they trust you, they don't want to find another body. You know, like they know that you can do the job. They know that you do it well. They know you, so like they're comfortable with you. You're already in their personal space, and then that means they would invite me into their personal space, and that's very important, and that's the key of being a successful portrait photographer. And then once you gain that trust from your customer, you're in. You can do whatever you want, and you always get the businesses from them. And so good morning, Les. How are you? And that's cool to see you guys. Wow, absolutely. 40-150 is very versatile. I have that always in my bag, and in fact, you know, if I tell you my kit in my portrait bag is usually my EM1X. And because that is unbreakable camera, even though it's big, but then it's just unbreakable, it's reliable, I know it works. And I have my 17mm 1.2, the one that I'm filming right now. I have the 25 1.2, I have the 45 1.8. I sometimes bring the 1.2 depending on what sort of shoot I'm doing. If I'm in a very low light situation, I bring the 1.2. But in daylight, I will have the 1.8. I will have my 40-150 f2.8 Pro, because like you said, Cheng is versatile. I can do long shot, I can do continuous shot, I can do compression shot, I can do all kinds of stuff with it. But 17 is by far one of my most used lenses around. My battery just went for that. Let me change my battery and quickly. And right, let me see, 1 second. And right. Right, okay, whoo! The light is on. Oh my God, it's so bright. Okay, let's turn it down a little bit. Right, you guys have any question, just ask me now, and then I will be able to answer you. And Thank you, Brianna. Glad you enjoy my portfolio review. And of course, I have way more. Like I mentioned, the last 2 years, I did about 350 of this type of shoots. So I have a lot to share about different approach, different lightings, different compositions. So there are a lot of things I could definitely tell you guys. And in terms of wedding, I also have a portfolio I can show you guys as well. And if you want to learn more about a particular style, let me know. And of course, always message me, always leave comments down below. Let me know what sort of thing you would like to see, and I will definitely be very happy to show you guys whatever I have. And if you need to ask me any question, I'm very happy to answer you. If you want to improve your photography, I'm very happy for you to send me your photos, and I'll be commenting or give you some constructive advice. Just make sure that you improve the way that you want to. Editing, I was trying to do some editing maybe in the future, but I don't know how it works at the moment for live demonstration. It can take a little bit of time, and I don't want to waste your day too much, because editing can be a very, very vast and long and complicated subject. 17 will be my next purchase. As soon as the lockdown is over, I'll be shooting and selling. And yeah, Shane, 17. Like you can see how good it is now, right? This is what I'm using at the moment. I'm using an ND filter to slow down the frame rate a little bit for videos purposes, but it's a fantastic, phenomenal lens. What would these images be used for? I imagine these can be very relaxed type of photo shoot. It's a lifestyle photo shoot, and although this series already been published once in a company's blog site, not her blog site, it's actually another company. And then actually this Sunday, I think it's this Sunday or next week, I'm not entirely sure, because I just been contacted. The reason I'm showing you this is because I was looking at them last night. I got a reporter contacted me through email, and because the lady that I photographed got an interview through Times magazine or the Times newspaper, and they were asking for these photos, and so I go back to my portfolio and just like my archive, they dig up these photos and so I can show them, and they pick a few for publishing, so that you will see these on the newspaper or magazine next week or this Sunday. I'm not entirely sure. I will get some information as soon as I know. I will let you guys know. But yes, these photos will be published, and so that will be cool. I like it. I mean, who doesn't like having their photos published, right? And that's all good. So let's see, what's that? For sure, idea for vlogging and Lola. Oh yes, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, for these sort of shoots, usually can be used for a variety of things, and it's not that kind of Trevor, I'm just answering your question. So it won't be like, for instance, for companies' commercial headshots and that kind of thing. It won't be in the catalog. This is more like for modern day websites, and the profile shots, modern day blog shots, and some publishings, depending on what sort of thing they do. It's always surrounding the lifestyle kind of thing, showing it like natural environments and things like that. So that's what I'm good at, and then that's what I do for most of my clients, and they kind of enjoy that sort of thing. And because, like I said, this is very different to corporate shots, the corporate headshot. Those are very rigid. Those are, basically you go into a location, you set up your lighting, everything. You just have the employee lining up, and you just be a factory line, just a bam, 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 just go in there, look at this way, just a little smile there, bang, you go, next one. It's not that type of shoot. This is involving a lot of personality digging, opening the doors, like I mentioned many times already, getting into their personal life, invading into the personal space. You just have to gain that trust, and but once you're there, I can guarantee that we'll get a lot more jobs from them than any other businesses, because you're in there. If they're not married, you most likely will be a wedding photographer for, that's for sure. I've done a lot of clients where I photographed them before they married, then I did the pre-weddings, and then the wedding, and then the baby show. I actually had a whole series of photos. Like, I'm actually be their live photographer, so to speak. So that's how important it is for you to gain that trust. So that trust, worth a lot of money. And then but I'm not saying that from a commercial point of view. I'm genuinely interested in learning about people, and this is why I change kind of my directions since the beginning. If you missed my other few streams, and you know that I started with travel photography, then as soon as I learned more about cultures and people, I'm starting to become a portrait photographer, and then wedding and people in general, just kind of like that. It's just me. I like to learn more about people. Maybe just because I talk a lot, I talk too much sometimes, and I just like to, yeah, learn about people. Just like I want to talk to you guys. Okay, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you don't have any other questions, and I will be ending my session here. And mind you, I just want to give you some announcement here. I'm starting to archive all these live stream shots so you can go back and look at them in my personal YouTube channel. I haven't actually made anything specific for my YouTube channel yet, but I'm actually going to be uploading all these videos in my personal YouTube channel, so you can actually go back and look at them if you want to, and you can comment there as well, so I will see you guys there. I'm going to put the link down in the description, so you can click on that and go to my channel. You can subscribe, of course. It's support for me as well. I need to get those numbers up, and then if you haven't been there already, make sure that you go there, subscribe, and put the bell notification so you know when I release something. And so yeah, good that you guys see enjoying that. So take care, see you soon. Yeah, no problem, Shane. Very interesting. Please, you have made a successful business from this type of work. Thank you, Trevor. Well, like anything, you know, just never stop what you believe in, what you're passionate about. Do what you love. And then if photography is your thing, don't stop there. You know, I know it's a hard moment at the moment. It's actually hard for me as well, because I told you like right from the beginning, I lost all my businesses this year. You know, there's nothing going on, even though that I was really busy last year, and this year is just completely dead. But just stick with it. I guess, you know, this is the only way to keep you going. Be creative. At the moment, I'm trying to do a few videos that's going to be very fun, and it's a fun thing for me to produce, but it will take me some time to produce this because our family here. It's hard for me to have to do this sort of videoing, so it's going to be a little bit difficult. No problem, Jason, you're welcome, and I hope you enjoy this. Okay, so yeah, head on to my YouTube channel. If you don't know what this stream is, I'm here on Facebook between Monday to Friday between 11 and 11:30 a.m. GMT London time. And also I have a Wednesday live on my YouTube channel, Red 35 Photography, every Wednesday at 3 p.m. GMT London time. And also all these things that you see now in the on Facebook, all the live stream videos will be archived and published in my personal YouTube site. I will leave the link down in the description after this particular video. I'll also leave all my social accounts on my Instagram and everything. If you haven't followed me, go there and follow me as well. So I'll be posting some information there. If I release something or do something special, you'll be one of the first one to know if you do follow those accounts. Of course, I do also have my Buy Me a Coffee link here, and I will also post some like first-hand information. If I'm doing something special, you'll be one of the first one to learn about it, and also exclusive discount. You will go on there and check out my Buy Me a Coffee there. So all good. So anyway, so I'm going to end right here now, and have a lovely Easter bank holiday weekend. I hope you guys will enjoy this sunshine that we have right now, because I know next week apparently the forecast is saying it's going to be really cold. So Saturday, I think tomorrow, we're going to hit 25 in London. Interesting. And I forgot to buy barbecue. I missed my burger. And this, you know what, this lockdown thing, man, 2 things I missed. And I'm not joking. Let me know what things you missed the most, yeah? I missed KFC and McDonald's. I'm not joking. I missed them so much. Please bring me back my KFC chickens and my Big Mac, please. Oh, seriously. Okay, anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed today, and I will see you guys next week, next Monday. So same time, 11 to 11:30 a.m. Remember, I will see you guys then. So have a good day. See you soon. Bye for now.